So the new engine is in and nearly ready for the bike carbs to be fitted. It wasn't straightforward to get to this point though. The ST170 comes from a Ford Focus, where it is mounted side on. It therefore needs quite a few modifications to fit it to a rear-wheel drive car. Fortunately though, the previous owner had done these modifications. All that was left for me was to make some engine mounts. The engine also came with a Type 9 5-speed gearbox. I thought this was an easy install, as many Capris came with this gearbox. But the mounts were well off. So for now, I've just bolted it through the floor so I can move forward with the engine. And I'll come back to this later. The engine mounts come supplied as a kit, so after putting the engine where I want it, I need to cut them to size and attempt some welding. The best welder, but I was relatively happy with how these came out. With the engine fixed in place, I was ready for the next step. The next step is to take the engine all the way back out again, because there's a few things I need to do. The engine needs to come out so I can fit a sandwich plate between the gearbox and the engine. At the moment there's a gap and it's no good, I'll just get dirt flying in there, so I need to fit a sandwich plate. And also, while I was going through my room, I found this on the floor. It's a thrust release bearing. I don't know if it's off this gearbox or not, but while it's out I might as well check. And then lastly, and it's time to fit the carb, but we've got a bit of a clearance issue between the brake servo and where the carb's meant to be. So I'm going to readjust the engine a bit. I might just be able to get it in. I'm not sure, but we'll see when I get it out anyway. Yeah, so here's the bike carb that I'm fitting, and as you see, should go in there, but we're fouling a bit on the brake servo, so I need to have a think about that, see what we need to do. It might mean getting rid of the brake servo. It's probably the most likely outcome, which I don't want to do because it's just added cost, and it's a road car, so I still want a brake servo, so that'll mean possibly relocating it or fitting a smaller one. I think it's off a 2.8, that one, so it may be a bit bigger anyway. And I've got a Land Rover master cylinder fitted, like that I did the conversion. That was a really good upgrade for the Capri, although it took a while to get right, is upgrading the master cylinder. So I want to keep that, but it's just, yeah, that's currently in the way, unfortunately. There's just not enough clearance. So we'll see how we get on. We'll get the engine back out a bit and get this plate fitted. And then look to sorting that problem out. I've had the engine in and out a good few times now. It's not the easiest doing it on my drive, but I know in the end it should all be worth it. The sandwich plate I picked up from Retro Ford. Made from stainless steel, it should do the job nicely. Got the engine and gearbox separated, and it looks like there is a thrust release bearing in it. So I haven't been stupid and forgotten. There we go, look. So where that other one's come from, I don't know. So now we're going to get the sandwich plate back on and get that all mounted up. So I've got that ready here, look. Right, the engine's back in with the sandwich plate now. So that's looking much better. A lot happier with that. There's still a gap there, but that's where the clutch cable goes in. Yeah, so that should keep the dirt out now. In terms of engine placements, I've got it bang on where it needs to be now, and yeah, it's still quite tight, so I don't think that's going to fit. But what we'll do, we'll maybe strip the top off the carb and see if that makes a difference, and if not, yeah, I'll just have to take this out, I guess, to get it in. Even with all the plastic removed, they still didn't fit. I guess the only option left is to remove the servo. I've no idea what to replace it with, but I guess I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it. To remove the servo, it's just a pin here on the pedal, and then the bolts you can see in the background on the bulkhead. Or alternatively, unbolt it from the bracket itself. Servo's out, but before I install the carb, I need to sort out what's going to happen with the cooling. So I've popped the radiator back in. I don't know if it'll be big enough, but this is the original Pinto radiator for this. But it was a new one, so it's a good radiator, and it's also got an electric fan installed. So it should be okay, but I might have to upgrade this in the future. But I need to sort out what's happening to the pipes. This one, the top one, the hot water, is a bit too short, so I need some sort of extension for that. The bottom one, I need to run it across to there and then a right angle. But the main one, what I want to sort out before I get the carb on, that's why I've paused and to give it a go, is the one that goes to the heater matrix. So that's this one, this long one, and I can run it across the front like that. Ooh. So I can either run it across the front and then straight under there, take it under the carbs, and then it's a direct into the heater matrix, or I can go round this way, up over the top and down. But whatever it is, I want to do it, get it sorted before I install the carb, because they're gonna be here using up all the space, and it'll be a bit harder to get in. So I need to have a think about that. When there's a few different options, I like to go away and give it a good think. Try and envisage any problems that I might have. Right, I've decided on the cooling pipes where they're going to go. So I realised last night I can't run them over the top, because that's just going to result in it being really difficult to bleed, because there'll be air trapped in the top. So I need to run it down the bottom and round there. And I found a rubber pipe off the old Pinto, and I've put that in for now. I still need a couple of bits of pipe to get it plumbed in, but I've ordered them. They should be here in a few days, various adapters and stuff. You should get it all sorted. So now, yeah, clear to put the carb in. Yeah, so I've put that pipe in for now. Rubber pipe going down there, and then I'll connect it to that pipe, the silicone one. And then I've bought some 32mm pipe for the bottom to go across to there. The carbs that I'm fitting are Minkuni Motorbike Carbs off a Suzuki GSXR 600. These came with the engine, and I believe they were originally supplied by Dan ST Engineering, who offer a variety of carbs and throttle bodies for the ST170 and other Ford engines. I'm so happy to finally get these on, and they look awesome. It also brings me a step closer to being back on the road. All I need to do is get it running. So there we go, carbs in. Next step is to get it all hooked up. So I've got a motorcycle fuel pump for the carb, so I'm going to use that and get that hooked up. But what I'll probably do for now is, rather than have it go into the tank, I'll just hook up a jerry can and get it going from here. And then got to work out all this. So this is the wiring loom that came with the engine when I bought it. So yeah, I've just got to work out where all the sensors are. There's a few loose wires, that's obviously power. But yeah, work out which ones are grounds, which ones aren't, and yeah, get that all hooked up. And then I've also ordered the pipes for the cooling. So yeah, probably a few days for them to come, get it all wired up, and then yeah, should hopefully be ready for it to start. I've also ordered an exhaust, the Pinto exhaust. Originally the the exhaust valves are on this side, so the exhaust originally will have gone this way. So yeah, I need a new exhaust, but ideally I want a custom exhaust, but for now what I've done, I've ordered an aftermarket Capri exhaust, and then I'm going to try and reroute it halfway. And I've got the head, this engine came with a 421 header, so I'm going to use that header and then try and do something in between, try and connect them. But I've ordered that, I'll show you that when that comes. Yeah, so there we go, carb in, hopefully get you started next time.